What up and welcome back, all the icons of the world, to the Metro Icon Podcast. You know who it is. It's your boy Shawn Kay the Showman of Do It All Entertainment and DIA Media Solutions. And I'm so excited for this episode, y'all, because I hope first and foremost you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving celebration with your fam and fam bams, and of course are getting ready for the holiday season that is ahead of us in the new year, of course. And so much is happening this coming month. You can check my Instagram for all the different spots I'm going to be at. But y'all, I just booked my first comedy showcase, which is going to be happening December 14th at TK's Comedy Club in Addison, one of the best up-and-coming comedy venues. My very first comedy showcase to celebrate my first year in comedy. So if you're around the DFW area, or maybe you'll be in the DFW area around that week and that time, come through December 14th, Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. I have an incredible lineup. Check my Instagram and socials. And of course, Metro Icon, we have nothing but episodes after episodes and interviews set up. And of course, bringing on my guy, BLJ, that you have seen on this podcast as my media partner. And so it's coming up. Everything is coming up, y'all. And in case you guys haven't known, we also have a lot of sponsors, including for this episode, the Library Bar in downtown Fort Worth. You can catch me there so many different times. And of course, I'm going to be talking to our general manager there, the homie that climbed his way through the first time we worked together. It's been an ongoing relationship, ongoing forward. You can also catch me there New Year's Eve. That's right. I will be running the New Year's Eve party this year at the Library Bar downtown Fort Worth. And this is a very, very deep episode because first real conversation I had with my boy, Chris. And we talk about some industry stuff, but it talks about a lot of personal things to the journey of how he got to who he is in the position that he's in, running one of the best spots in downtown Fort Worth. You literally will not find another spot like the Library Bar in downtown Fort Worth. I promise you, you just won't. And honestly, all around DFW, this spot is running on its own theme, vibe, and come up. So turn your speakers up, y'all, because we about to get industry deep with this episode with the manager of the Library Bar, FTW. Here is Chris B.
You can do it all. You can.
Do it all, baby. That's right. We doing it all here, y'all. And welcome back to another episode of the Metro Icon Podcast, where we do what, y'all? You haven't watched enough episodes. What we do is we talk about the world of entertainment and media and the icons that live in it. And man, I have a personal icon that's in the house today because we are in downtown Fort Worth and one of the best spots that you can possibly be, which is the Library Bar. And I got my dude who is the GM and the man behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, making everything happen here at the Library Bar. It is my man, Mr. Chris Bloomquist.
What up?
What's going on, sir? It's about time we finally made this happen, y'all. It is about time. It took too many tries. This guy's too busy, man. He's working way too hard for this establishment. If the owners are watching this, man, y'all got to know this guy is putting in work. I got to know Chris Bloomquist through the actual Metro Icon competition, and at that time, that man, he was just a lowly bar manager, at the time, and then he done worked his way through the ranks. And then this man turned this whole damn place around, added games, added a lot more things that are just bringing the crowds in, and of course, keeping this place running, y'all. And I got him in here. We're going to have a fun conversation, y'all. How you feeling, Bloomy?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah?
Pretty good.
I know you worked last night.
I did.
Because you work pretty much every night.
Mm-hmm.
And how you feeling? You might just turn that mic a little bit closer to your mouth, you want the tip to go facing. There we go. There we go.
Right,
oh,
cool.
my God, yeah. So, are you awake yet, bro?
Dude, I don't know what awake and what sleep is. My alarms kind of become part of my dreams. This morning, I woke up to and I have to recognize I can't jam out in my dreams, man. That's an alarm telling me to get the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. I do imagine that, because that's I have that same thing where it's if I have a late night and then I have my alarm go off, and if it's a music song, I'm literally sleeping and dancing for like a good like minute and a half before I'm like, oh, this is not normal.
Yeah,
it's not normal. But man, I'm appreciate you got this place open. Right now, obviously, you don't see anything happening behind us because we are here in the before hours, not after hours. The before hours and stuff.
Yep.
And it is a hump day. And I'll be here in the next 2 days DJing this Friday night.
Yep.
But unfortunately,
party coming in.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But unfortunately, this episode's gonna be released like way later. So but we're gonna have some fun, man. Our relationship has become quite the interesting one. I feel like we've established quite a relationship way past Metro Icon.
Yep.
And I think it's been quite good.
It has.
I've been enjoying you. I enjoy you.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy me? I'm really happy you say that.
Yeah. A little sus, but
yeah. but all for the right reasons.
100%.
It's no homo, but all homo at the same time. And that's a lot of love. That's a lot of love. And so, but no, for real, dude, this guy is one of the hardest working dudes in this industry. I remember I did interview with my boy Matt, who's at Bloom and Sporting Club in downtown Dallas. And that's like a full like nightclub. But here, this is a bar where you get that nightclub feel, you get like that gaming like beercade feel, and then you get that pub feel, you get that pool hall feel. Like there's so many different dynamics, man. It's like, what do you think like your crowd is that comes in through Library Bar?
Man, and I think that's kind of the thing that it's hard to touch on because a lot of bars, they have a theme or they have a group that comes in, and we kind of pride ourselves on diversity.
Mm-hmm.
The barcade that you were talking about is probably a newer aspect we brought in about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We had the pool tables that kept people entertained.
I'll tell you this, Library Bar did not look like this during Metro Icon. Not at all,
Yeah, put up some artwork, spaced out some things.
Done by your hands, by the way, because Mr. Bloomy over here is quite the artist, y'all. If you guys have a chance to ever take a look at the mural, I was trying to set up there, but I didn't want to rearrange the furniture too much. But there is an amazing Library Bar mural that this man painted with his own hands. How long did that take you?
Ridiculously long.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you kind of fake it until you make it.
Mm-hmm.
I do graphic design on the computer, and I told them, yeah, man, for sure, I'm a mural artist. And then I got in front of that like 12-foot wall, and I was like, this is going to be a fucking task.
Yeah. Did you have an image, like what you wanted to do beforehand? Because it's 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
Yeah, 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It started with a head that was exploding into pages, and it was all colorful and stuff. And I got about a quarter of the way through it, and I took a step back, and I was like, this is fucking reading Rainbow, man. I painted all the way back over.
Come on, bro. Everybody loves Reading Rainbow.
Oh, man. Juvenile vibes. It was too much. So we did the whole, I knew that an octopus was going to be badass, and then everything else was just kind of a fill.
Now I know exactly how I'm going to start my DJ set on Friday. It's going to be the Reading Rainbow theme song.
Rainbow at the library.
Yeah. What did I did last time? I did Little Einsteins. Yeah. And if people went in, they went hard because I did the trap. I did that little trap remix and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll find something with Reading Rainbow.
Going.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Man, you've been in the bar industry for like how long exactly?
I think it's going on 8.5 years.
8.5 years. Not all here?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you before this?
So I started in college town. I played a little bit of college football, and then I was working at a place called a Pita Pit. It's kind of like a Mediterranean Subway.
Yeah.
And right next door, because it was on Fry Street in Denton, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Right next door, there was a bar. And so we stayed open ridiculous hours, but we would trade during shift and go take shots and get to know people and then bring them back and make money, whatever. And it was at one point, somebody had started a fight like right outside the door. I had thrown somebody out. And they were like, what are you doing, man? You need to be working the door. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, Oh, man.
Get out some aggression, some pent-up aggression,
Yeah.
Because I know these people try to test you, bro.
100%.
They definitely try to test you. I've seen you lift some motherfuckers up, dude. Like some big dudes right out, like not even being like rowdy or anything like that, but just dudes who just straight fell down on the street. And you like, I was like there's one dude who's like, at least a good 250 pounds, and you lifted him off the sidewalk. It was impressive.
Yeah, so the dude was laying on the ground because he was just drunk from wherever he came, because he did not come from here being that drunk.
Yeah. And you're pretty much on top of it, because I've seen you cut a lot of people off.
Yeah, it's our job, man. It's accountability.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was laying on the sidewalk outside, and I was like, hey, man, it's not a good look. You got to get up. He was like, all right, agreed with me about 4 or 5 times, and then I realized, like, he's not getting up. So I had to get him up.
Yeah.
You know?
And you did it a little too. It's crazy, you know, because you're a pretty strong dude. But you still haven't been able to beat that high score from an average, somewhat above
fucking time, bro.
A semi above average civilian comes in here, sets the high score on the punching bag machine, and you still haven't been able to conquer that.
So I had a little bit of pushback bringing this punching machine in from the owners, because it carries an aura with it.
Yeah.
You know?
This is a great inside joke, by the way. I'm just letting y'all in an inside joke with me and Chris.
Yeah, so there's this stupid punching machine. I'm sure you guys have fucking played it before. You punch it and it gives you a rating, and it goes up to like 999. It's the top score. And for like the first 5 months, I prided myself entirely too much on being the top scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, I got a text one day during happy hour that some big country motherfucker came in and smacked it. Beat my score by 2 points.
Oh, no.
I was like, cancel all my plans.
Yeah.
All the meetings are fucked.
Mhm.
Like, my day is shot.
Yeah. That's how much he cares about the job. He has put in a significant amount of his own salary into paying for that machine. And I do got to give you credit, because you have not reset the machine yet.
Yeah.
At all. And I got to give you some integrity points for that one, you know? Maybe one day.
Yeah,
maybe
I
one day.
mean, like there's minor shoulder dislocation.
Yeah. We always got excuses before 2 p.m.
You know?
So yeah, you know. But I just gotta let people know. So I definitely encourage anybody who's listening to this podcast. If you think you can beat the 937 score on the punching bag machine, I would love to see it, because I know Chris doesn't want to see it.
You have to do it here.
You have to do it here. You can't
There's punching machines on all types of
right.
bars.
So
they have different rating systems.
Yeah,
937 is the score to beat here. I've hit higher scores at other bars.
Yeah.
I'm not bullshitting.
So you say.
Yeah.
I believe you kind of.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you need to come into Library Bar, you guys got to check out this scene. But definitely looking for those individuals with some striking power, because not only will it be a phenomenal feat, it will just be something wonderful for me to see that expression on Chris's face. It will mess with him dearly, which will bring nothing but joy to my heart. I gotta say though, like, you know, your staff, you guys you have a pretty solid team over here.
Very small but solid.
Yeah, very, very solid team. And there's a good camaraderie. Y'all do some shit sometimes. Like you take your employees out and show them that you appreciate them. What are some of the activities you guys do outside of running this bar?
So last year we went to a place called Andretti.
Oh yeah. That's in Carrollton or whatever. Yeah.
Just opened. It had the fastest go-karts in the world.
Oh man.
So we went and did that.
I've never even been there.
Yeah,
now I gotta go. Now I gotta check it out.
It's an arcade. They have laser tag, all types of stuff. Try not to go just to another bar to drink, you know?
Yeah.
Keep it like a family activity. This year, we went to the new Revolver location, Texas Live. Went through a whole walkthrough, learned a little bit about beer. Shout out to Heather. She's pretty good about supporting us. And then after Revolver, we went to, I think it's called Sandbox VR. Sandbox VR is like fully immersive. Everybody lost their mind when the headset came out. And I'm telling you, we had so many conversations about how scary this shit was.
Oh, really?
It has trackers on your wrists and on your hips and on your feet.
Oh, so it's like you get that full movement.
Bro, it's like a room probably about as big as this side of the bar. You get like fully immersed. And so for the first couple minutes, you're like, oh shit, look at me, I'm a robot. And then you forget. You're like inside of the game.
Yeah.
VR is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And where is that in Fort Worth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, there's a Sandbox VR off of 7th.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, yo, there's some places I got to come check out now, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, so I mean, I think that camaraderie though sits well with why your staff works as hard as they do for you. Because I mean, I'll say this: like, if you guys come here to Library Bar like on a decently busy night, like you'll see them grinding, you'll see them working, but y'all are having fun. And I think that is like the biggest piece. And I think everyone sees y'all having fun and you guys support each other. And I think that's something that is like that camaraderie within the staff is what makes you guys very successful. So I got to give you your roses on that, man, because aside from just shifting this whole place up, you actually did some amazing things to really build the strength of your team. And people that you can count on, minus English, you know.
Yeah. English is a door guy that we have from England.
Yeah. Ladies love him.
Oh God, the accent.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the accent and the tattoos.
He's a lady killer.
And the tattoos and a real killer. And a real killer. Don't ask him to show you his tally marks on his back, because you won't be able to count them. You won't be able to count them. It is that British military. I don't know about intelligence, but just British military for sure. Brute. It's just brute, yeah. But he big softy. I did get a higher score than him on the punching bag game a few times.
He's very technical, so he doesn't like throw his body into it. Stand still. And
I felt really good on that. I remember after I beat his high score, I was like done. I just walked away.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm like, we're not playing another round. We're not playing another round. I'm done. I won. That's it. Yeah. So. Well, either way, man, like regardless with the amazing staff and the vibes that you have here, there's so much you have to deal with. I think what do you think as playing, I think, and not just a general manager role, but you're playing pretty much every single role here, which I think every general manager should do. What do you think is like key to really having, running a successful bar and making sure that you get people coming back and get people talking about it?
Well, I think, we started in the right direction. It starts with the staff. And so a lot of places have a decent amount of seasonal overturn.
Mm-hmm.
And we just don't have it. There's a lot of places that have people that work like 1 shift, 2 shifts. Everybody here is full-time.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody takes pride in the shifts that they have that are never changing. So we have a certain person that's here Sunday, Monday, and then we have Brenda that's here on Tuesdays, and me and B here on Wednesdays, and then Thursday is our new addition, Joshua, and then Friday you get to experience everybody together. So I think starting at the ground up, at the door, he has the potential of really causing some damage.
Yeah.
But I teach them, try to teach them to be non-confrontational.
Mm-hmm.
I think the strongest thing is having the potential to do something like that, but having restraint.
Yeah.
So. And then at the bar staff, a lot of them have been seasoned for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Once you fine tweak some of the smaller things, you can have a good time. I think there's times where it's a learning experience, and I try not to be too micromanaging. But that speaks back into the fact that like I know what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So
I think you talk about restraint though, but how far does it go? Like, how far do you have to be restraintful before you're like, you got to check a motherfucker real quick?
So we haven't had a solid fight here in about 3 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have small like tuffles, and I think they're all big and bad, and then you toss them out the door, and they're sorry, But again, we are non-confrontational, man. Any of the times that we've ever put our hands on anybody, like defensively, this is because somebody's provoked us to the point that like they put their hands on you. You're like, hey man, look, you can't be talking to people this way. You're making people uncomfortable. Can you please walk with me? And they're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
After a certain extent, it's like I got a smile on my face.
Right.
I'll show you.
Yeah. I mean, and aside from that too, I'm pretty sure that you've seen your fair share of some really shady shit too, right?
Yeah.
You seen those people like doing lines in the bathroom and.
Oh my God, I started in college bars, man.
Oh, so that was like a regular.
Man. Yeah,
they're doing lines of like Xanax and shit.
Well, college bars were a little bit different, and
so when you say College Station, is that at? Are you talking about Austin, like near Austin College Station, or is it like for TCU?
So the college town
or college
I guess
town,
I should call it Fry Street, is in UNT, Denton, Texas.
Okay.
They have
Denton, Texas is way northwest of the DFW region. If you guys don't know the area,
and they have a strip that kind of looks like Austin, Texas, where they have the 6th Street and everything's in a line. You just kind of hop bar to bar to bar to bar.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, Granted, that was probably only about 6 years ago. But college bars don't do very well on restricting people to the amount of drinks that they have, you know? And so we would go to the patio and get like, there was $2 doubles on Wednesdays.
Woo.
Oh my gosh. So there was a bartender inside. Man, they're getting their ass kicked. And there's a bartender on the patio getting his ass kicked. You bark an order at him, you know, he's like, hey, like, give me 3 whiskey Cokes if he sees another person behind you. Because technically you're only supposed to give somebody 2 drinks at a time.
Yeah.
In Texas, at least.
Yeah. Whether they follow that rule is really under their discretion.
And so college was sitting at a table that was full of drinks that you got from 2 separate bartenders, like challenging your friends to chugging drinks and then see who's walking the weirdest after like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Those precious college drinking challenges. Yeah.
Man.
But and then you were there for how long?
I was in Fry Street for 3.5 years.
Okay.
And I started as the door, then I was the floor supervisor, and then I would work my way behind the bar. And I was like, I don't know if I want to bartend for college kids. Like $2 doubles, the reason they're coming for that is because they can get like four
Yeah,
four
you can get
drinks
sloshed for
$8.
$20. Yeah. So, I mean, and I love that story because that's actually similar to my boy Matt, because it's like, I mean, he had such a fast climb at Bloom, and he moved here from Chicago a month after I did. And when he started working at Bloom, it was literally like he was a door guy, then became bartender and security, and then a floor manager, and then he was like a GM within like 8 months. You know?
So, yeah, it took me 4 years.
Yeah. So was it 4 years under the same that same GM that was here before you, or did you have a couple rotations of people?
I had a couple rotations. Oh. There was the bar manager when I came in. She worked her ass off, and above her was Reagan Noble. I'll say his name because he was a badass dude. But he was kind of here for, I think it was a year, and he was very much. He came from Billy Bob's in Texas, big bar.
The one that down near the stockyards.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Came in with ideas, a presence, fun personality. But after he left, then the bar manager became the GM. There was a bar manager before me. There was a couple slip ups, and I became bar manager. It was right around that time I became sober. Mm-hmm. So it kind of fell into a good time.
Wait, are you sober?
Yeah.
Completely?
Completely sober.
Did we not do a shot together?
Mm-mm.
Never?
February will be 3 years sober.
Man, so maybe we did a shot together and you didn't put alcohol in your drink. You just did the...
That's my profession.
Is that what you do? Man.
I do Red Bull, man.
Finessed. I feel finessed.
Nah, don't take it personal.
No. It's I respect that. I know eventually, I feel like, especially now that I'm in stand-up comedy, eventually I'm going to become in like a sober retreat. Like I'm going to, and sometimes I'll do like little breaks and stuff like that. But the thing is that I'm not a big drinker. Yeah. You know, did drinking, like when you were in the bar scene, did you have a period where it was like shifting you and it became like a regular thing, or you were overdoing it?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. So
bring that mic a little bit closer. I want to make sure. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. That does sound better. I can hear myself.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a little short story about how drinking just like jumped off the cliff. There's a drink out there that's a peppermint schnapps. Everybody knows of Rumpelmans.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows it. In college, we started on something that was a little bit lower than that, but had the same alcohol percentage. So it was called Ice 101.
Ice 101.
Ice 101.
Not the Smirnoff ices.
No. Fuck no. So we would chug beer, and then we would drink a bottle of Ice 101. Ice 101 is 100 proof. It's strong shit. So we would do that at tailgates. We would do that at parties. And then it became like a tally mark thing.
I've done that.
Who has the most shots of Ice 101? Then we met another group that came from California. They were like, how the fuck do you guys drink this stuff? We would get shit-faced. Everybody would try to remember what happened last night. And then we met this group from California, and it just went. So we progressed from Ice 101 to Rumplemans. It was like the same amount of percentage of alcohol, but all of a sudden it was 1,000 times better.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's like you trained your palate off like the
yeah.
shitty version, then went to the new one, and it was too easy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
We were drinking, no lie, we would buy a bottle of a piece of it. It was pretty bad. It got out of hand. I lost a couple friends to like drinking when they were young.
Like they lost their
Bastard,
lives.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Sorry to hear that, man.
You're fine, man. It's all about life.
Yeah.
So I had a friend named Skylar Harris, rest in peace. We did an imaginary belt competition. So it was literally a group of probably about 15 of us would make a circle around me and Skylar.
Mm-hmm.
We would like clink a beer down on the table and chug a fucking pint.
Mm.
And so like me and him were like the only contenders on Fry Street. And so eventually, you know, things progress. People don't slow down. He had a heart attack.
Oh shit.
24 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild. And it's not even like a freak accident or something, you know, DUI.
There was complete signs. The doctors, because he was kind of getting his body checked up. He's like, man, my body's feeling weird. You know, it might be like going through some bowel movements or whatever. But it was like, yo, you got to stop drinking. I don't know why your body can't deal with it. But, you know?
And folks, so was it after that, then you kind of, when that situation happened, was that when the sobriety kicked in?
I was already starting to try to slow down. I went back to Denton, Texas, because at this point I had moved away from Denton, just for any reason that everybody does. Relationships, they end, whatever, and you start over. But I went back to Denton, Texas, and after not drinking as much, because I'm not going to say I stopped, because I'd be lying, I got smacked. Like super drunk. I know that I was out of character, and out of anything, my mom is probably the voice that's very profound.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, he just died from doing this in excess, and you honor his life by continuing to do it in excess. And I was like, that's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's deep.
Yeah. So like, yep. A couple other things came into the situation where I was basically advised that I should stop drinking, and one day I stopped cold turkey.
Mm.
Yep.
So, and it's been, your sobriety has been how long now?
February will be 3 years, man.
Wow. Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Good for you. And do you feel like you have any urges to go back, or do you feel like you're just like, nope? Like, do you feel like if you were to have even a sip of alcohol, like you would probably feel like super sick? Or
so my family is very military minded, man. So
explains the work ethic. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like somebody can touch you, but they can't touch you, and that's kind of like a philosophy that our family lives by. And so I think one of the biggest fears that I've experienced to this day is alcohol withdrawals. So
you still have them?
No.
Okay.
Dude, alcohol withdrawals were probably one of the scariest things that I've ever been through. God bless the fact that I had a roommate that didn't know anything about alcohol withdrawals, because again, I do believe a lot of life is mental.
Yeah.
So I had a roommate at the time that I was quitting, where the first day that I didn't have a shot, I was shaking, couldn't sleep. I was like, it was terrible. I was like, my feet were like pins and needles. My head was cold. My stomach was all turning and shit. I was like trying to drink anything, and on the way to my mouth is like a whole fucking process. I was like, dude, if this continues to get worse, I'm going to the hospital.
Yeah.
You know? So for 3 days, it continually got worse and worse and worse. And after the third day of no sleep, I mean, obviously I didn't tell anybody this at the time, but I got auditory hallucinations when I closed my eyes.
Oh, snap.
And that can be a mix of melatonin. Melatonin helps you sleep, right?
Yeah, right.
Melatonin.
I think so. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, melatonin.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I think melatonin, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Yeah.
Melatonin, the lack of sleep, and also like the sickness that I was feeling. I would close my eyes, and I shit you not, I had Howard Stern talking to my head. Howard Stern.
Good voice, though. It's a good voice talking to you.
Howard Stern was interviewing porn stars in my head. And so, like, when I would try to go to sleep, I would hum myself to sleep. Now, this is like a legit thing that happened. And so, like,
I'm sorry.
no.
I try not to laugh. I'm just like imagining like you would hum yourself to sleep, but then I'm imagining you like doing the Pornhub theme song, like boom, boom,
the Pornhub,
yeah, the Pornhub like theme song.
Yeah, it was an experience, man. Definitely didn't tell anybody I was having auditory hallucinations, but because of the place that I was in, I think that if I would have went to the hospital, it would have affected me more mentally than going through it myself and knowing that I had the willpower to go through it myself.
Right.
So I had the roommate that was like, you're kind of being a pussy, like get over it, type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that if I had any other type of roommate at the time that was like, oh my God, that anxiety that I was already feeling, oh gosh, man. It would have been 1,000 times worse.
Well, I'm glad you came through it. I'm going to take a quick pause. I want to make sure that camera is still recording. I got this new device, so hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Still good? Is that the 27 minute cue mark?
Yeah, but it didn't do it. I gotta figure out how to work this thing. Everything I've been stating that all my episodes, they're just getting progressively better. And
right.
So when this season comes out, by the time this episode airs, like it will be after all the shittier quality episodes,
Well, thank you for having me on the shitty part.
No. You're on the latter half, to be honest with you. Like we got 2 camera angles going on right now and it's going to get better. But like right now, like I'm just essentially like planning out my episodes and then people will see that progression. And then now as of Friday, my podcast setup will be complete. So
it'll be like Hot Ones. You'll be like this camera.
Yeah. Tell these people I love Sean Evans, man. Oh, I love Sean Evans, dude. That man is like, he's the epitome of a very, very fantastic interview host, right?
Right.
Like that man he actually does his fair due diligence. Like this podcast is for me, it's actually more for me, to be honest with you. Like as much as you and I like hang out, like we enjoy our time, but it's like shits and giggles a lot of times when you and I are hanging out, right? Like we get to have deep conversations. Like we don't just have the time for it, right?
Right.
And so like doing these episodes, especially with people that I know within the industry that I know that are doing dope things. It's not like, oh yeah, this guy does comedy every once in a while, but he like doesn't do anything else within the game. It's like, okay, we could have like a conversation just one-on-one, but to be on the episode, like this is for me. Like I love the deep dive, and so like Sean Evans, like he fucking knows research from like when they were in grade school and they're like, how the fuck do you know that?
Yo, who's the dude that like, who's that guy? Nardwar?
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
He's a good one, but he's kind of like, I feel like he's like a comical host. He's like a gimmick interviewer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with the podcast, like this is really to not only highlight, the people who are doing dope ass shit at dope ass places and whatever within the game, because this is entertainment and media. This is the industry. Like people gravitate here within entertainment and media, and this is where you get such a plethora of entertainment, right? So like to have an actual deep conversation with somebody who's running this game, but to see where they come from and where they're at now, like that's where the real juice is, in my podcast. So, I enjoy this and I appreciate you opening up this world of vulnerability. It's only going to bring us closer together.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still waiting for my invite to the Firestone, of a sleepover. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, sure.
I'll bring my Nintendo 64, bro. We'll do it real.
Yeah.
I got a real one.
Yeah, got a fucking pillow for it. Is that what?
Yeah, I mean, you got enough pillows? I don't think you do, bro.
I don't have like a very decorative.
I know you well enough to know that you have a limited amount of pillows, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not like an excessive pillow guy. Dude, my apartment is a beautiful place, but I definitely don't have the throws.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Once you have that right lady, And
Right.
you know, that's when pillows are gonna start coming in your life for
Oh,
sure.
shit.
Yeah.
Bring the pillows.
Yeah. But you know, and that's what happened to me. Like with my fiance and stuff like that. Like she comes to my bed, I have 4 basic pillows. It's just everything I need. When I go to her like bed and stuff, I gotta like take fucking pillows off and shit. And then, but
Any face pillows? No pictures of anybody on the pillows?
no, oh my god, no. I did get her a Shawn Kay stuffed animal though.
Oh,
It
wow.
is a little. It is a
Voodoo
Shawn
doll.
Kay plush of me in my outfits. Like
You ever get like random pains?
no,
Like
I get
poking the
sensations.
voodoo-
I
poking
get
the voodoo
sensations. I get sensations around my ears and stuff.
doll?
I'm like,
shit.
oh, she's petting me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, like, I don't think she's into voodoo, but she is Mexican, so she
Crazy.
definitely she was doing something. She's like, I've been having some bad luck lately, so I gotta do this thing. It was like some term, Mexican term. I'm like, what the hell is that? She's like, yeah, you take an egg and you take the egg and you just rub it all over your body and you say a lot of prayers
Yeah.
and then you do that.
And
and
crack it and shit
and
comes
then-
out black.
you crack the egg in water, and if the like egg is like fucked up, then it's like it was removing impurities.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
But I mean, she didn't tell me no ending result, so I'm sure it was just she just wasted an egg.
Cracking egg.
I'm pretty sure she just wasted an egg.
Wow, I'm pretty positive now.
No, she didn't make no omelet or nothing. It's just,
Yeah.
she just wasted that egg, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, dude, it's I think it's kind of clear to see now the progression of like where your mind is at and why it is where it is, you know. And, yo, it as a friend, it allows me to have more respect for you than, you know, I already had, which surprisingly is a lot higher than what you may think, you know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, dude, you get your shit done, dude. But like, you know, we've done some pretty crazy shows here. You know, we had a burlesque drag show for some time, and then I've done my open mic karaoke sometime nights, which are just getting even better and better.
Yeah.
So are we moving to two a month, bro? Are we doing it? Is that locked in
At least for this month, September.
for September? Well, I mean, we got one. I thought we were gonna start in October.
So we have the party on the 20th that we talked about.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's going to be a karaoke, whatever.
That might just be a karaoke because that's next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So that might just be like a karaoke night for your party. But then the last Tuesday of the month, that's when we run our open mic karaoke. Sometimes last one was a banger. You know, it was, we had great comedians come through, but we had a whole lot of people like coming up and making shenanigans on a karaoke mic and stuff. So it was a great time. But hopefully we'll be making, I want to do it twice a month, which we'll figure it out. Like, you know, it'll be last Tuesday still, but then we'll figure out another alternating Tuesday.
Yeah.
But this is a perfect place to do a showcase, like a comedy showcase.
Center of downtown Fort Worth.
I'm telling you. And then aside from that, you know, Library Bar is also connected within the same building as Pete's Dueling Pianos. And that place is
crazy.
a jump. Like, it is insane, especially on the weekends. I've been to that place once, and it was like, I think a good 300 people inside that bar, and it was old time. I mean, if you people who go to piano bars, it is like, you know, if you have a good establishment, it is old timey, like real shenanigans, and it's like the rowdiest, but at the same time, it's somewhat controlled, which is very interesting. I love seeing that kind of dynamic, you know.
Yeah.
But you guys, you have a great relationship with them because I feel like I've seen them like come through and you know, like they'll let you know like how many people they got going on in there. They'll come check out what's going on in here.
Yeah.
So like I feel like you guys tag back and forth a lot as far as to like retain a lot of the customer base between both bars, right?
Yeah. So we started a relationship. I've known them just amicably through about 2 years, 3 years. But when COVID hit, it kind of banded a lot of us together. Bars were no longer allowed to stay open, and so people had to reestablish as restaurants. We've had a kitchen for, I don't know, probably about 7 years. It's never been a big kitchen, but what we did is we revamped our kitchen. Since we have a jointed building, up the back staircase, we allowed them to like use our kitchen, and then we just continued.
Oh, so they serve food, but they operate from your kitchen?
So we make the food, we bring it to them, we take a cut.
Oh, so it's still your menu
Yeah.
that you use, and then you just serve it up there. That's
Mhm.
what's up.
Yeah.
Did they like market it though as like library bar kitchen?
Nah, I don't think so. I think it says Pete's, but
Really?
yeah, I don't give a shit.
I mean,
Give me
maybe,
money,
maybe
you know?
you don't. Yeah, give me money. I guess that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, plug it up. You know, I mean, shoot, they guys throw some love back and stuff. That way, I feel like then the people would be able to see the relationship if they knew that the food was from Library Bar. Like, I feel like they might feel more compelled to, like, if they were leaving, to like come check it out here, right? And I think that's such a perfect dynamic because you're getting like a real show, like an interactive show, like with the, you know, at Peace Dueling Pianos. But then once they leave, it's like they want to drink. They just want to like get that bar club feel. It's kind of like that after party. And I feel like this is just like the perfect joint for it. So
Right.
that's pretty awesome. Do you have a relationship with the other businesses that are in the building?
So about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, man, time is so relative. We started a downtown group. So it's like a little Facebook group where if you ever see somebody getting thrown out of a bar and you see somebody running up and taking a picture of their face, it's somebody from within the group. So we let everybody know.
So you guys let them know. So if they come in, they can't just leave there and then come into your bar.
You come down here and you like break some shit down there at Houston Street, you're not getting in any of these bars.
Yeah. That's a good
That's
way to
something
roll.
that we implemented.
Yeah, I like that. Because I mean, like, you know, it's like the same thing I look into the industry, right? Like there's no way that there's a single entertainment company or like entertainer that can monopolize this business. Like there's just so much business to give, and it's subjective. It's like you can, like, people, I might not be a good fit as far as an entertainer for a certain crowd, and it might be that other company, but like we could all work together. And I feel like that's something that I've always played as a positive part within my career, is that I've been subcontracted by so many other entertainment companies, knowing full well that I'm not going to like work under, you know, be subcontracted under their company and then take their business and all that kind of stuff. Like we're stronger and able to acquire more when we're all working together. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think that's kind of good that you guys have established that on this block. Because I mean, shit, like that's just straight accountability on a whole block region of bars and businesses.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, it's crazy. I think that a lot of the things that differentiate us from other places is what makes us so strong. You know, Deep Ellum. I'm not saying it's not a beautiful place anymore, but it's a pretty violent place. English, the guy that we were talking about earlier. I mean, he goes down there and makes twice as much money, but he's armed.
Stripping.
Nah.
Oh wait, no, he does bouncing over there too. I did see some videos.
Yeah.
I did see some videos of some shit popping off.
Yeah. He's got potential. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean,
all the security guards down there are fucking armed to the teeth because there's shootings every night. Just like, bro, it's not quality. So we deal primarily with convention centers, service industry, hotels, a little bit like on the higher end of mid class.
I think it's a fun class.
A fun class.
I think it definitely is a fun class because I think you have a universal vibe here. I think it's like it's not for any type of one type of person, you know. And so you have like your younger general demographic of like your 21, 22 to like 35, 40-year-olds. But then you have like those older crowds that come in from, you know, work conventions and whatever else. And they come to turn up and shit like that too. And it's like, you get this kind of vibe of like every type of person that's up in here. But like one thing I want to kind of route back to, man, because, you know, talked about English being in some situations with Deep Ellum. And luckily, you know, you've been able to maintain a non-confrontational like solution to any like issues that come into the bar. But you have to have been and seen some crazy ass shit. I don't know if it was here or maybe at the old Denton bar, but I gotta hear the story of whatever the craziest situation you've had and been with and involved with.
I got two for you.
Oh shit.
I got two.
Okay. Let's save the greater one for the second one.
What's greater in your eyes?
Like more intense.
More intense?
More intense.
So it's either getting jumped or a shooting. So where do you want?
Start with getting jumped.
Okay. All right. So Facebook Live. This is back when I was working security. Coincidentally enough, it was for the library bar, but it was in Denton. They franchise out the name. They're not like jointed like they used to be.
Okay.
So if you have the library name, it doesn't mean that you're associated with other libraries.
Sure. Okay.
I was head of security at a bar. Of course, Facebook Live had just come out, and somebody got thrown out of the bar next door. I had a friend. We'll call him
Dave.
Dave is a clown, a jokester, very spur of the moment.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable is a good word.
Mm-hmm.
Who took his phone out immediately and did the whole Friday quote. I bet you just got knocked the fuck out. Like whatever, you know?
Oh, okay.
This girl.
This is before World Star? Like he was World Star?
I don't know, man. Old head, I guess. She got up immediately, grabbed him, right? One of the things that I've learned, because the bar industry is continuously a learning project, process, project, whatever. If it goes outside of your doors, you do not interact. I caught the brunt end of it. I learned my lesson, whatever. She gets up, grabs Dave, and I got in between. I was like, yo, like, everybody relax. She was obviously a little bit more intoxicated than Dave was. And when I pushed my arms like this, she kind of did the tripped over herself. And I'm going to go get my family. Working security on a college-like town, you always hear that shit. I'm going to come back with my friends. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
She came back.
3 hours had gone by. 3 hours. I'm taking the trash at the end of the night, man. I'm all the way around the corner, Fry Street. Whenever they let out, it's like bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Make a hole, make it wide. Fucking cussing people, telling them to move out the way. I get around the corner after getting through a crowd of people, dumping my trash cans. There's about 8 of them. Get back around the corner, bro, and it was a ghost town. It's like the first time that I've come around that corner and had it been completely empty. I was like, and that's not a good sign. I'm not going around that fucking corner.
Yeah.
And then 3 people come out of this parking garage, come around the corner. They're like, look, Chris, don't go down the street. They're fighting anybody that looks like you. And there's about 8 people.
Oh, shit.
So.
They're targeting.
Yeah, 100%.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was like, you think I'm just going to sit and wait until the street's clear? Like, fuck that. My hard-headed ass. I go up the street. I get up to my bar, look inside the bar. Like, dude, nobody's inside the bar. I'm like, hello? Throw the trash cans inside the bar, and then the wall shakes. Like, oh. Right next door is a Jimmy John's. We have a jointed wall. The wall fucking shook. I went around the corner, and when I looked inside, my ex-girlfriend was on the ground with the girl that I had like pushed out of the way on top of her, and she's just doing one of these numbers. But everybody inside Jimmy John's, all the people that were inside my bar, all my friends, there is like a full-on brawl going on inside.
So they like broke the window to the Jimmy John's inside to like, was it from the brawl? Like somebody got thrown through the window and then?
No, it was the wall that shook. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So they were outside the Jimmy John's?
They're inside.
Oh, they're
somebody
inside.
Threw somebody into the wall. The jointed wall is so hard.
So the Jimmy John's was open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude, they make money like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
On a college town,
that
they
late
stay
night
open
food.
until 4.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so I get in. I'm like trying to process whatever everything's going on. Throw the girl off. I'm in my ex's ear, like wrapped around her, going, look, this is about to get really ugly. I'm taking you out the door. Get your feet underneath you because I'm going to let go of you and you got to run. She gets outside the door. I let go of her. And as soon as I like turn back around, because I'm getting hit, like the whole time I'm wrapped around her talking to her, I turn around and I got connected. If there wasn't a wall behind me, bro, I'd have been out, dead to this day. Closed my whole right eye, bounced off the wall, came back to life. Instinctually, childhood shit, like stay off the ground and swing for your life, you know? So I hit one guy thinking I'm about to go get on top of him, and I get like kicked in the side of the face. But I probably got jumped by like 4 or 5 people.
Damn.
Cut the details. Somehow I made enough room to like get out and hit to the left. I get inside the bar, and already my protective nature in my head, I'm telling myself like, I have to make sure everybody knows everything's fine, right? And that might be like a little bit of shock, like, but I get into the bar, open up the bar with my key, get inside the bar, lock it behind me, turn around. All the girls and the staff are looking at me. My ex is looking at me, and 2 of the regulars in there. And I was like, smile on my face. Hey guys, everything's fine. Yo, they're looking at me like I'm a ghost, right? I don't know how bad the damage is. Like I survived.
Yeah, your adrenaline's probably still going through, so
yeah.
you're not feeling shit
Like,
yet.
Crazy. I know I knocked somebody out, whatever. I go into the bathroom. My eyes completely closed. My face is cut open. Blood all the way down my face. My shirt's completely ripped. My fingers like dislocated. They probably thought I was the craziest person they ever seen in their life. But
sounds like you were the craziest person. Like, I mean, because that right there, like, I feel like I would have gone through like similar motions, right? Like that adrenaline's kicking in, and I haven't gotten my ass kicked that deeply. Like I'm not a fighter. I've been into a very, very small handful of fights, but I've always grown up in, I guess, around a community of friends where like I always had those dudes that were like so willing to fight way more than me. And so like if anyone was messing with me, it was just like that was instinctually they were already in and ready to beat some ass, right? But like I feel like I would have those similar things where like just coming out of it and like trying to just be like, okay, just process, but I'm okay, like whatever. But then as soon as I see the damage, I feel like I'd be like, just screaming. I would feel everything. Hospital. Like just like good. And did you go to the hospital?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, no.
I don't
we
think
had a
I
house
wouldn't
party
think so.
afterwards.
Good God.
And I was at that. I have a video on my Snapchat somewhere where I have a solid block of ice on my right eye. There's about 25 people in my house. And I have a friend named MJ that's sitting right next to me. And I pulled the ice off my eye, and my eye opened for the first time. And he goes, "You're a doctor." And everybody in the house, because I'm like jumping around recording everybody. Everybody's like, "You're a doctor, you're a doctor." Yeah, we're all fucking shit-faced, man. It was
doctor
crazy
because
times.
you healed yourself?
Yeah, bro. Might as well be a shaman.
Yeah.
You know? Got
Dude,
healing properties.
bust out some ayahuasca and shit and go in the mountains.
That was a life-changing event.
Yo.
Yeah.
And I mean, you came out of it. Ultimately, everyone was okay.
Yeah.
At least from your circle,
you
know?
Yeah.
And hopefully all the other ones are living in Oklahoma and not doing shit with their lives.
Yeah, you know? Well, the last story is completely omitted of names. This is a hypothetical story, but
actually happened.
Yeah, but it was pretty life changing. I've been in a fair amount of fights in my life, lost a few. I've seen death a little bit too frequently, and I deal with my own demons. But on this particular night, I was off. It was a Sunday night, and if we have a bartender on a Sunday night that's male, we have somebody on call. It's a female. Obviously, it's a college bar, man. Sundays are fucking dead.
Yeah.
If it's a male, we have somebody on call, but he's there by himself. So, of course, I'm always on call. I've always been the fucking same person. Like, I'm right next door drinking, hanging out. Two people that I know really well walk in, and they're like, "Hey, blah, blah, blah happened at this party. I got mistaken for a different person. Certain amount of things happened. I was struck. There was disrespect, whatever. I need you to get him out of your bar because there's going to be a one-on-one fight." Respectfully, like, you're going to own what you did and I'm going to own what I did. We're just going to squash it as men. So I walk into my bar and there's 3 people sitting on the edge of the bar top. And very professionally, I walk in and go, "I don't know what happened. I'm here preventatively. There are a couple of people outside that say that you guys have somewhat of an organized beef. And if you guys need to fight one-on-one, now is the time to do. But we are not going to do this inside the bar. That's the most professional way that I could tell you what the fuck I said. And they were basically like, yeah, we're not going outside, man. It was about that time that I heard the door open. The two gentlemen that I was talking to walked in, and I considered myself pretty close with them. And so it was basically 3 people and 3 people on this side. There was people on the opposite party that started claiming that they were gang affiliated, which was obviously responded with this person's gang affiliation and this person, you know. But we get into a verbal altercation. The next thing I know, I hear a stool move and my ears ringing. So I turn to my right. Everything is whatever, right?
Like that's the ringing in your
ringing
head.
in my ears. There's like blood and substance all over my leg. I process that my friend is deceased, and I look back up, and the dude has a gun in my face. And because I told you that my family's very military.
Wait, so this was your friend who was killed?
Mm-hmm.
The one that you knew?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Because I tell you that my family's very like military oriented. It's very much like nobody can fuck with your mind unless they allow them to.
Yeah.
If you value somebody's opinion of you, then that's how they get in, whatever. So my family has a very weird way of dealing with fight or flight. We call it analysis. It's not a freeze state. It's not a run state. It's not an immediate like action stage, but it's very much like, what is that fucking movie where things slow down?
Wanted?
Wanted.
Yes. Okay.
Damn near like Wanted. I swear to God, when I get like pure adrenaline, yeah, it's like, all right, I got to process what the fuck is going on. I slow down. I don't like. So I'm looking at a barrel pointed right at my head. And everybody else is already like immediately took off out of the bar. People are hiding in the back. And I was like, there's nowhere that I can move that I'm not going to frighten you. If you're going to kill me, do it. Because if you don't, it's going to be a fight. And I don't think he was expecting me to respond with something
as so direct when he has the barrel in your face, right? Because he's looking for fear.
Right.
Yeah.
He evaluated where he was and then took the barrel off my head and ran out the bar. Immediately, cops were called. And it's very weird to hear myself in a situation like that because I was like, does anybody remember the color of the car? What is, like, if you could give me an accurate description. I'm on the phone with the cops, but like, I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the people around. Everybody's, and I was what is the color of the car? Fucking focus, And so they eventually caught one of the guys because they dumped him out the car. They were like, yo, man, like, you escalated this to a part that I was not comfortable with. And so I guess they threw him out the car. They found the guy, went in for the lineup, whatever, went through the whole murder trial. I think
convicted?
Yeah.
Okay. Which
obviously didn't come with peace. You have people that feel like you're the reason they were convicted. When you're in a touchy situation like that. I know people by certain nicknames that aren't their legal names. So lawyers always try to play. I think that a situation like that is a little bit more complicated than people think. There's tactics to lawyers where, like, for say, they had a lawyer that was 300 pounds, big guy. But whenever he was standing next to me, his posture was different. So like they would call me up to reenact whatever like happened, and he would stand next to me. And because I was 6'2", fresh out of like college football, obviously like
you were much
And so I've always been big on posture, Besides like right now I'm super relaxed, but so I'm standing up tall, and this huge motherfucker is like. So like it's mental tactics,
right.
And so there was multiple ways that they tried to prove that it was self-defense. but it ended up in a murder charge. Obviously, it didn't come with peace, but everybody has their demons.
Well, I'm gonna express thoughts. 1 second, I want to make sure that we get that, and then we're gonna close out this pod with the last thing. So hold on. And back. So coming off, man, I mean, first off, thank you for sharing that, dude, because I can't imagine it being, you know, a good feeling to have to recollect something like that, you know? So I appreciate you sharing, dude, because that is a wild ass story. Like, I've seen death in, you know, situations and stuff, you know, through just various areas or whatever I've been through. But to have something so close, you know, that affected someone that you personally knew, that you had a relationship with, that, you know, unfortunately lost their life, but, you know, you coming out of that situation like that, I mean, dude, that is like, it's wild. That's wild to me, bro. And, you know, first off, it's just like, yeah, I don't think, you know, because it's like there's those people who would just be like, oh, you know, you want to, you know, get their revenge, or, you know, you want to go back to give the other person what they deserve and stuff like that, or make them feel the pain that maybe you felt. But like, in the end, even if you were to achieve that, it's like you still won't get peace. So it's like, in the end, it's like you just have to accept this. It's this just a situation that you won't ever really feel peace with and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that it's also a testament of, regardless of the lack of peace you gain from that situation, that ultimately will probably haunt you for the, you know, next, you know, portion of your life, you know. But ultimately, dude, I think you've redirected that situation in a positive way, you know, that's really brought you to a place of peace, I think.
Right.
Like, I think what I'm fortunate enough is that I've been experiencing your most peaceful self. You know, who knows if you and I would have been able to be friends when you know, prior to your sobriety or whenever, you know what I mean? Right. Who knows?
Right.
So, but where you are right now, I think, is in your best mental place, you know? And so, you know, that's such a strong, and obviously we live in a world where tragedy is literally a dime a dozen. And so people are just naturally have a story of loss. But the biggest thing is that not a lot of people will redirect that pain in a positive way. And I think that's what you did, is you redirected your pain in a very positive way that have allowed you to become a better version of yourself. Right. So, I mean, dude, roses to that, man, because that's strong. That is strong. That's such a crazy, I can't even imagine, you know what I mean? Yeah. I can't even imagine. So
crazy,
man, dude, it's, thank you for being you, bro. Like, honestly, like that right there is like, it's such an eye opener for me, you know? Like, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I would have done. Yeah, but I will say though, like, I feel like because I do have this story. If you haven't, or no one else has seen it, if you look up Shawn Kay Pinata on YouTube.
Pinata.
Yeah. And it tells the story of Halloween weekend of 2020. This was 3 weeks before I moved to Texas from Chicago. And I was robbed at gunpoint driving Lyft, because usually Halloween is bumping. I got events and shit. But it was, you know, all wiped from the pandemic. And so I was like, all right, make some money. Said no money. And I know people in Chicago are still going to be partying. So I was picking up a passenger from a Halloween party in Wicker Park. I was robbed at gunpoint, and I had the gun at my chest. And I remember just handling that situation very calmly, you know, and like, it's a crazy story. I won't go into details because, you know, you can watch it on YouTube and whatever, but it was a loaded gun. I found out later that evening from another like robbery using my car to rob someone else, because I had my phone, wallet, keys pretty much on me by the end of the night, like after the situation. But that was a loaded gun to my chest. And I had it like touching literally in my chest and stuff. And it's like, even in that situation, it was just like not being able to walk out of it. And, gratefully, like nothing really happened, because people get shot for less in Chicago. But I also like, my mind is instantly to like humor. Like when I was invited into the Halloween party. First off, I was dressed as a piñata. And that's, I feel like, why I did not get shot.
I'd have rubbed you too.
I was in theme, bro. I'm thematic as fuck. You know what I mean?
100%.
But like,
I think I've seen the costume.
Yeah. I'm gonna be wearing it at the Halloween party this year because it's my most epic. First off, you won't find anybody else dressed as a piñata during Halloween, and that is the greatest flex because it's like
I will fucking find somebody just because of the punching machine bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find somebody.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck to you. Okay.
Yeah.
But that also that costume is hella cursed. Yeah. It's like hella cursed. Like every single year, there's always something big that's happened. You know? So it's like, so like I still like will wear it, because I do love that costume. But it also is what saved my life. Because I said in the video, I'm like, you can't get no gangster credit shooting a man in a piñata costume. You can't take that story back to the streets. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, in the end, it's like when I went back in the party, like I'm cracking jokes. People are like wondering, like, dude, you just got your car jacked at gunpoint and all that. Like, how are you just so? I'm like, why dwell on something I did not control or had no control over? Like I'm a very count my blessings type of guy, and I think that's something that you and I are very similar at. That I think we naturally will always kind of connect. It's like we're always like okay, what's the positive? Even if it's like a dead night, what the good thing that's happening, and ultimately nights always end up being good here. I love performing here, but to go back to like handling those tragedies and stuff, I mean, it's fair to say that you've dealt with some more intense in situations than I have, but
that's no comparison, man.
I mean, well, yeah, okay. Well, I guess pain is pain, right? Like everyone's pain is everyone's pain, but definitely more intense situations that I've certainly have not been in. Now I have some funny ass stories and shit. There's some crazy shit that's happened.
That's what makes you beautiful, bro.
But yeah, you're beautiful too, bro. Nah, I mean, you did chop off the hair though. I do miss the Thor mane. I do miss it. I do miss the man bun, but I mean, you're still a beautiful man.
But my hair was like down to my shoulders. It was all over the place, but shaved on the side.
It was beautiful.
Started looking like a mullet, bro. I don't have a race car. I had to get rid of it.
It was beautiful. Okay. It was beautiful. Do you see it in like, you see it English now? He's got a little man bun, but now he got all them head tattoos and stuff. And it's like, that hair's getting longer. He's still maintaining stuff. Bro. Was he?
He's a mini me.
Oh, this shit. Yeah, not really. No,
bro, how old do you think that cat is?
What cat?
Fucking English at the door.
English? 28? 28?
24 years old, bro.
He's 24? That man's got seasoning on him, dude.
Yeah.
He's been through some life.
Uh-huh.
That motherfucker is
24, bro.
Yeah, that's wild. Because you're 28. Yes.
September 7th was
okay, so that's oh, shit. Happy belated, bro. Damn. Come on. Got to give it up for my guy right here. That's right. It's 20. He turned 28 years old, ladies, and still single. And he got a good check. That's not why you should be. That's not why you should be with him.
Bro, don't come at me.
He's an artist. He'll paint your body. Yeah.
I'm a graphic designer.
Yeah. He'll be graphical. Well, shit, dude. This has been a very intuitive, deep run through, man. I would not expect. I think we were just going to talk about random shenanigans and stuff, and I had to stop drug addicts doing their their sessions in the bathroom or whatever. I'm pretty sure you've prevented some rapes.
Yeah,
I'm pretty. I know that there's been situations and stuff where you've seen something that something doesn't feel right with maybe a female in a situation and stuff, and you've always been very calculated in the way you handle those situations and stuff. But what you've gone into, man, that is wild. And and knowing you, I know that you can have a violent side, but I haven't seen that. You
Right.
know what I mean? I've seen you mad. I've seen you mad like, woo, testing.
If I get really quiet, my hands go behind my back, like in the thing like this, like right behind my back. That's definitely like I'm about to lose it. So like my staff, they'll see me mad, but if I'm usually talking, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
The second I shut up and put my hands behind my back, they're like,
and your eyes
Stop.
Your eyes get really big.
well, my eyebrows do a thing, and I got the contorted eyebrows.
But you haven't had to have. I don't think you've been in that situation here.
Mhm.
And like you said, in the last few years, it's been fairly non-confrontational situations,
100%.
de-escalated, and able to move forward amicably.
Yep.
So, I mean, man, props though, man, because I mean, like, I look at like a dude in English, man. That man's a bona fide killer. I know that dude has a violent streak. I know that man can snap very, very easily. Like,
but he's got a beautiful smile.
he's due, and
That's why he's at the door.
and that
man.
accent, bro. That
I'm telling
accent
you.
is like, like I did see somebody say something to him, and he was like, "You want to try again, bro?" Like,
Yeah. Come on, then.
say something else. Like we
Yeah.
should try that one more time. You know, because that was not a way to approach
Yeah,
me. It's
yeah.
like you're gonna get corrected really quick. You know,
Yeah.
and but like I think that you could sense that. Like essentially when English puts his stance down, you know, I'm like, oh, this dude's not one to fuck with. You know.
Yeah.
But I feel like that sense for you because it's like you've become a very peaceful warrior. That's what I'm gonna call you. And through therapy, like that was one thing my therapist, and he was like a black belt in Tai Chi, but he was like a clinical psychologist too. And he always asked me, like, what kind of warrior do you want to be? You know? And like I always I have to remind myself that question, like, what kind of warrior do I want to be? Because every warrior is walking their path, having that journey, having their battles they have to deal with. But what are they taking from them battles for the next one? And how are they conducting themselves within that journey? And a lot of people lose that piece, right? Because they just see the world in a certain way. If they've been through violent situations, they only see violence forward, right? That's how you correct it, better them than me type of thing. You, I think, have become a very peaceful warrior. And I think that is a very strong attribute that you have redeveloped within yourself. And so, I mean, dude, like this is awesome. I think there's a lot that people can kind of take from this, you know? I think there's a lot of people who might even be going through who the old Chris was, and they're going through it now. And I think this is like, if they were to hear this story, they can take it and be like, oh, I can be better. You know what I mean? And so like, shit, man. I mean, dude, you deserve nothing but like the success, dude. I look forward to be working with you for the rest of your damn life. I hope that, you know, I see that special someone that comes into your life and you're like, shit, bro, I got trapped, bro. I'm capped. I'm trapped. I'm trapped and capped, dog. You know, and you know, and I fully intend to insert my friendship into your life very, very deeply, even unwarranted.
Yeah, insertion.
Yeah. But like, you know, but definitely, dude, that was way more than what I think I could have expected out of this conversation. So before we close off this podcast, man, I you know, you should definitely do another one. Maybe we'll do another one, and we'll bring English in, and we'll do a 3-way conversation, having English part of the conversation. Because y'all, especially for any lady viewers that might be in here, you're gonna love English. Don't tell him that he got a big enough head as it is, but
it'd be a pissing contest.
Yeah. But you know.
Yeah.
Toilet flushes different ways in the US and the UK. So,
I like that. That's good knowledge.
Yeah. So I like to end the podcast in a very, you know, it's a very general way. You know, some other podcasts may do it here, but I like to end the podcast. You end it off with a single word, phrase, or quote, anything you want to leave off into the world. You end the podcast. It's all you.
One more day. It's the most profound thing that has ever been said to me. As if you ever feel about quitting, do it tomorrow.
You could do it all. You can. You can.
Do it all, baby.